Okay, let's look at another example. So again, first is find the angle that you're going from. They gave us this 53-degree angle right here, and then label the sides accordingly from this angle. So from this angle, the opposite side would be over here. I'm gonna put an O. And then from here, I need to figure out which one's the adjacent or the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is always our long side that's across from the right angle. So this one would be H, which means this one is adjacent. So once you have your sides labeled, you need to figure out, am I using sine, cosine, or tangent? That is going to come from the two sides that you're looking at. They gave us the 45 here, which is our adjacent side, and we're looking for side K, which is our hypotenuse side. Again, O isn't helping us. We don't want to find what the length is. They didn't give us the number, so it doesn't do anything. So we're only looking at A and H. So from our SOHCAHTOA, A and H is cosine. So cosine, we'll write that here, of your angle equals the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse side. So we're just going to plug in the numbers now. So here we would put the 53 in for the angle. And then the adjacent side is 45, and the hypotenuse side is K that we're looking for. So on this example, our variable's in the denominator. So your little trick here that you're going to do is you're just going to switch these places. K is going to equal 45 divided by cosine of 53. So that's just kind of a little quick trick you can do. And we're just literally going to throw this into our calculator. So I want to know what is 45 divided by cosine of 53 degrees. So we get, if we round to the tenths place, that 7 bumps that up to an 8. So 74.8. And that would be your answer. So again, when the variable's in the denominator, just switch these two places and just throw in your calculator. Let's look at another one. This time they gave us angle L over here. So from this angle, our opposite side would be here. Our hypotenuse is always across from that right angle, so it's our big side. And that means this would be our adjacent. So on this one, we have O. We're looking for W, which is the opposite side. They gave us 83, which is the adjacent side. So out of our three trig functions, which one uses opposite and adjacent? So if I think of my SOHCAHTOA, tangent uses opposite and adjacent, the O and the A. So we're going to use tangent this time. So tangent of the angle equals the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. So think TOA when you think tangent. Now we just kind of plug in everything we know. We know our angle is 20. So tangent of 20 degrees equals our opposite side, which is W, divided by our adjacent side, 83. So on this one, W is in the top, so we just want to get rid of the 83 by multiplying. So we're going to times by 83, and those cancel, and we get 83 times tangent of 20. This is what we want to throw into our calculator. So 83 tangent of 20 degrees. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. And we get 30.2. And that would be your answer. Okay, we've got a few more to look at and then we'll be done. Just want to make sure you guys feel good with doing these. So again, when you're finding a missing side, first thing is from the angle they gave you. Again, we never use the 90-degree angle, we always use one of the other ones. So from this 40-degree angle, I want to label my three sides as opposite, hypotenuse, or adjacent. So the hypotenuse is always across from the big side in the 90-degree angle. So here's our 90-degree angle, here's our hypotenuse. Opposite is always going to be coming straight across from the angle they gave us. So the side would be O. And then adjacent is the one touching the angle. And then once you have your three sides labeled, figure out, are you doing sine, cosine, or tangent? So again, so is sine. So sine uses opposite over hypotenuse. Ca is cosine. So cosine uses adjacent over hypotenuse. And then we have TOA. So tangent uses O over A. So I like to just write that whenever I do these problems. So from this angle, they gave us the side 7, which is our opposite side. they want us to find side x, which is our adjacent side. So I have O and A. So from our three things, tangent uses O and A. So I'm going to be doing tangent of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. So here's our little ratio we want to set up. So I'm going to plug in the angle and the two sides, and we get tangent of the angle, which is 40 degrees, equals our opposite side 7 over the adjacent side x. And then whenever x is in the bottom, again, our little trick is we're just going to switch these two place. So x is going to equal 7 divided by tangent of 40 degrees. So we're just switching their place. And we're just going to throw this into our calculator. So if I do 7 divided by tangent of 40, we get back, we'll just say 8.3 if we round to the tenths place. So x equals 8.3. So again, that's just finding the side length. We're saying this side of the triangle is 8.3 long. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, on this one, they gave you both of these angles. You have the 52 and the 38. So when that happens, they are going to tell you what angle to come from. Actually, it's not on here which one to use, but let's go from the 38. So if I set up from the 38-degree angle, that means I'm ignoring the 52. The opposite side would be x. The hypotenuse will still be across from that right angle, so that's this side right here. And then adjacent would be this side. So coming from this angle, we have our opposite that we're looking for, side x, and they gave us the hypotenuse, which is 80. So once I know I'm using O and H, that tells me I'm doing the SO part of SOHCAHTOA. I'm using sine. So here's my formula. Sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. We just plug and chug, plug in the numbers. So remember, we're using this angle, not the 52. So sine of 38 degrees equals the opposite side, x, over the hypotenuse, which is 80. And since x is in the top, we just want to get rid of dividing by 80 by doing the opposite, which is timesing by 80 on each side. So those cancel, and we get x alone. And then this is what we throw into our calculator, 80 times sine of 38. So 80 times sine of 38 degrees is 49.3 if we round to the tenths place. And that would be your answer. And sometimes they might give you the triangle, and they might have you do both. So maybe they have you use this angle in a part 2. So Math Excel will do that sometimes, where they have you do going from this angle for the first part and then have you set up for the second angle as well. So we might have to do both parts on that one. Let's do a couple more and then we'll be done. So first, label your sides going from the angle. So here's our 41-degree angle. So the opposite side would be side 4. Hypotenuse is always across from that 90-degree angle, and adjacent is touching our angle. So we have O, H, and A. So looking at the parts that we know, they gave us the opposite side is 4 long, and they want us to find this side, which is our adjacent side. So we're not using H at all, we're only using O and A, which happens to be tangent TOA. So we're going to set up this formula, tangent of the angle, theta, equals the opposite side over the adjacent side. So then filling in our info, 41 is our angle, so we'll get tangent of 41 degrees equals the opposite side 4 over the adjacent side x. And this time x is in the denominator, the bottom of the fraction. So again, our little trick is we're just going to switch their spots. So x is going to come out here, and we're going to do 4 divided by tangent of 41. And then this is what we're going to throw into our calculator. So if I do 4 divided by tangent of 41, we get 4.6. So x equals 4.6. That'd be your answer. So again, that's just finding how big this side is. So we just found that this side is 4.6 long. And then one more. They gave us this 57-degree angle, so I'm going to first label my 3 sides. So the hypotenuse is always across from that right angle. And then opposite will be coming straight out from the angle. So here's O, and then adjacent is touching it. So from this one, they gave us these 2 sides. We're trying to find side X, and they gave us the side 10.8. That's our O and H. So sine uses O and H. So sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. We're just going to plug it all in. So 57 is our angle. So sine of 57 equals the opposite side, 10.8, over the hypotenuse, x. And again, whenever the x is in the bottom, we're just going to switch these guys' places so that I get x is equal to 10.8 divided by sine of 57. And then we're going to throw that into our calculator and be done. So 10.8 divided by sine of 57 degrees. And we get 12.9 if we round up. So x equals 12.9. Okay, so that is how you find missing sides in triangles when you have just one angle and one side. So we will also look at how to find missing angles if you know sides. So that'll be another part. But for today, we're not going to do the worksheet. You're just going to do the Math Excel 11.3. So go ahead and get going on that. And then as always, just email me if you have any questions. Hope you guys are all doing good.